Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to use the emotional guidance scale or the emotional guidance system to supersize and grow your business. And find that not only for you, but the people in your organization, if you share it with them and they use it too, can give you an incredibly huge competitive advantage in your business and in your industry, because you will be more emotionally intelligent. You'll interact, and your relationships will be better. You will have better internal as well as external relationships. You'll treat your customers better. You'll have a better understanding of where they're coming from and why they come to you. So how do we use this? What the heck is this? We talked about yesterday what is the emotional guidance scale, and hopefully you went and you printed out your own to, I say, hang it by your desk. Hang it where you're going to see it so that you remember to use it. I'm going to talk about quickly, hopefully quicker than in the Be a Better You annual challenge, 5 steps to using it, how to use it, and then how to incorporate it into your daily ideas of how to use it. Both you, and then if you share it with other people, great. And I think what you'll find is as you're using this tool and it's working for you, you'll get excited about it and want to share it with other people. At least that's what happens to me with different tools. So, for example, and I'm only going to share one person's story. I shared 2 and Be a Better You annual challenge and ended up talking for like 15 minutes. And I don't want to do that here because I want to respect your time as well as mine. So what are the 5 steps to use the emotional guidance system or scale, whatever you want to call it? Number 1, you have to identify your emotional state. What are you feeling right now? And I usually use it, let's be honest, I use it when I'm feeling heavy or negative or any of the negative emotions on the scale. For example, frustration. I've been doing a lot with frustration lately because it's 10. It's down at a 10, which means it's slowly vibrating. But if I'm staying frustrated, I'm attracting more frustration and more situations that will cause me to feel more frustrated. So I want to reach for a lighter feeling, better feeling emotion. It can just be one level up on the scale. So what's right above frustration is pessimism. Well, it's a small jump from frustration to pessimism. Oh, this is never going to get better, And I absolutely positively don't believe that, because I believe we have infinite possibilities and opportunities. So it's pretty easy for me to go from pessimism to boredom, and boredom to optimism. And, well, contentment, just being satisfied with what is, and then hopeful that something else is possible, and then optimism. So it's pretty easy to make the little leaps from step to step to step up the scale, than thinking I have to jump from frustration to freedom and appreciation. That's a big leap, right? That's 10 levels up from where I am when I'm feeling frustrated. But the first step is to identify the emotional state. Second is to accept and acknowledge and just take a deep breath without judgment and say, okay, this is where I am right now. I'm feeling upset or angry or frustrated or disappointed or disillusioned, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, name it and then accept it. Hey, this just is what it is right now. And then get curious about, what can I do to feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter, a little bit better? And at some point, you don't even need to know what the scale is and where it is anymore, because you'll automatically reach for a better feeling for you emotion. And once you do that, you start to automatically move up the scale, because the universe wants us to feel good and be lighter and happy and contributing positively to the world. And that applies to our businesses as well. So we're going to make small steps upward. Fourth, we're going to use thought reframing. Why? Because I don't know about you, but I think our bodies sense and we feel, and then we get an emotion, and then we start to think about it. And we pile all kinds of stuff on it. If it's a negative emotion, if it's self-doubt, and we're not confident in the current situation, we'll pile all the past experiences of when we've struggled or have messed up. Okay, we need to stop that in its tracks and replace that thought with all the times we've been successful and done. And we don't even need all of them. We just need a couple examples, and that will help us move up the scale. And then finally, incorporate mindfulness techniques and strategies and practices into your everyday life, because one of the fastest ways to challenge a feeling or emotion that we're having is to be present, be mindful. And we can do that through breathing exercises. We can do it through journaling. We can do it through practicing gratitude. And those are all things I talk about a lot because they're so powerful and effective. And the vast majority of people on the planet do not use or do them. Yet, they're absolutely free. We all get to breathe for free, right? We all get to, if we so choose, think about things we're grateful for free. Nobody is going to charge us or prevent us from thinking about things that are working out and that we're grateful for, that are good in our life, right? Meditation and hypnosis also helps with that. I do all of these things pretty much on a daily basis because I want to manage my state and how I feel and what I think about things. I don't want something outside of me or things outside of me thinking for me. I'll be honest, I spent lots of years letting other people's voices be in my head, and I didn't like it. And I realized that I can push them all out, and I can be my own best cheerleader and my own voice in my head. So what are some things we can do daily to impact this? Number one, I do it, and I challenge you to do it as well. Do a morning check-in. First thing in the morning when you wake up, check in with how you feeling. How do I feel today? And if you're in a top of the high vibrational scale, embrace it, get up and start your day. If you're not, like sometimes I notice I'll wake up and I'll have slept really hard or something, and I don't know if I've had a bad dream or what, but I'll be like heavy and I'll be like feeling kind of grumpy or irritated by something, but I won't know what. And so then I will do one of these things. I will try to tap into how am I feeling, and then accept that it is what it is, you know. And I'm like, well, maybe I had a bad dream or something. I don't know what's going on. And then I will reach for a better feeling thought immediately on the emotional scale, or I'll listen to a meditation, a brief meditation or hypnosis, or I will just do some breathing exercises to change and reach for a lighter feeling state before I jump out of bed and start my day. I also have other things in my morning routine. I practice morning gratitude. You know, I ask myself every morning when I wake up, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? And every night before I go to sleep, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? And guess what? It's not hard to think of things. There are so many blessings in all of our lives. No matter how bad a day we've had or how much we're struggling, there's way more things to be grateful for and way more things that are working out in our lives than aren't. I think a lot of our problems and challenges we create on our own and make up in our own lives, especially with respect to our businesses. Yeah, there's lots of stuff outside of our control, but we always have the ability to control how we respond and react to it. Mindfulness breathing helps. Having a gratitude practice, mindfulness breathing, reframing setbacks as lessons learned, stepping stones. I redefined failure a long time ago, and that the only way I can possibly fail is if I quit, if I don't ever try anything again. That to me would be failure. So guess what? I never reached the state or the feeling of failure because that's never going to happen. That's not even an option for me personally. And I love reframing and redefining things and setting rules like I did with frustration during the SOAP framework exercise to make it impossible to feel frustrated, make it impossible to feel some of those lower vibration feelings I don't want to feel, like depression. I did that with depression too when I was in my 20s. And then find a way to track your progress. Is there a way to notice and appreciate yourself as part of your gratitude practice when you're doing well and when you're moving yourself up the scale through different things that happen in our lives and in our businesses, because things happen all the time? How do we celebrate that? And then how do we measure and track and know we're moving in the direction we want to go? You know, as we go from where we are to where we want to be, and we reward ourselves, same process all the time, over and over and over again. Why? Because it works, and it's simple, and it's easy, and all of us can do it. And it's also free. All right, I don't know why I'm on the free mode today. I was going to share somebody else's story, but I'm going to keep this short. If you want to know somebody's story, hit me up and ask. I've got literally hundreds of people's stories of how they've used this tool alone to create the life and the business that they want. All right, have an amazing day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.